We are back with another IP Battles of Season 16, Episode 1. I am your host, Dave, a 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from trademarks, copyrights, patents, and trade secrets. So, for those of you who are new, first and foremost, if you're new, please hit the like button. To the extent that you enjoy this type of content, breaking down the Shark Tank videos from an IP attorney's perspective, but also hit the subscribe button if you like this type of content. I'm trying to bring you guys not only the entertainment aspect of it, but also trying to provide you guys value from my perspective, which is unique compared to others. So at the end of each episode, what I try to do is you typically have 4 pitches. And what I like to do is have this IP battle where I'm kind of giving you a short summary of each pitch. We're going to play the videos here in a second and then give you my thoughts. Then at the end, I want to know kind of your thoughts as far as two things. Number one, which of these 4 pitches will make the most money long term? And then which one of these 4 pitches will have a bigger cultural impact long term? Now, again, just because you make the most money, your cultural impact may not be as big, and vice versa. Just because your cultural impact may be huge, that doesn't necessarily mean that your company is going to make the most money. So again, we're going to play a summary, a short snippet explaining, in case you missed it, each one of these pitches. And then I'm going to give you my thoughts at the end of each summary. And then I'm going to give you my thoughts on which one I think is going to have the bigger cultural impact long-term going forward. And then which one I think is going to make the most money. But again, I want to hear from you guys as well. Let me know in the comment section, which one do you think is going to have the bigger impact as well as make the most money. So we're going to start with Little Saints, mocktails, non-alcoholic beverages. Hear her description or summary of it, and then I'll come back and give you my thoughts.
Hello, Sharks. I'm Megan Klein from Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
I'm seeking $500,000 for 5% of my company, Little Saints. Sharks. Very far from a teetotaler, I have always loved a good cocktail. Back when I was a lawyer, I was your classic work hard, play hard. During the day, I exercised, ate healthy, and worked really hard. And at night, I rewarded myself with cocktails. I always loved drinking and socializing, but after a while, it really started to make me feel terrible. But I'm a partier. I never wanted to stop drinking. I just wanted to drink something that was better than alcohol. And that's why I created Little Saints. Non-alcoholic cocktails and spirits fueled by functional mushrooms so that I didn't have to choose between having fun and feeling good. And that's why I modeled Little Saints after my favorite cocktails like espresso martini and spicy margarita, which are beloved by even the most discerning bartenders for their sophisticated taste and smell. Little Saints are sugar-free, only 5 calories per serving, and boosted by functional mushrooms like reishi and lion's mane. So, which one of you sharks wants to join me on my mission to radically transform the way that we drink with Little Saints? Woo. All right, let's drink.
Now, I must say, this is becoming a big thing, especially I would say in the last 5 years for my recollection. 10, 15 years ago, I don't recall, and maybe it was, and I just kind of wasn't in the know, but I don't recall mocktails being a popular thing. But as I go out more and more, going out on dates and things like that, man, it'll get, trust me, I love when they get the mocktails because it's going to be a lot cheaper than a cocktail or alcoholic beverage. But it seems like this is kind of picking up steam as far as people ordering a mocktail, especially if it's during the week. You don't want to have to kind of drink on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night and try to worry about kind of getting up, going to work the next day. So a safer option appears to be the mocktails. Now, I mean, again, I can tell you what, this operator, she's the real deal. A former attorney, which I love because typically what you started in is not going to be something that your business that you're going to start will be operating in. The fact that she started as an attorney out of New York, but then now she's making mocktails that includes mushrooms, and essentially she's like a healthier option. I mean, again, that's par for the course as far as I'm concerned, and you can just tell the way she kind of talks. If you missed my full breakdown, definitely go check that out on the Everything Intellectual Property, the channel. But just the way she was talking, you could tell she's the real deal, being able to put in $1 million of her own, and they're doing good things. So I actually like the Little Saints. I even actually like the name, the Little Saints. So, which again, she is filing for trademark protection. So kudos for her on that. I'm really high on the Little Saints. Let me know what you guys think. But in the meantime, let's go to the next one, TrueFit Customs.
Hi, Sharks. My name is Matthew from Ventura, California, and I'm the founder of TrueFit Customs. Now, we know it's important for sharks to keep their teeth in their mouth. Well, it's also important for athletes. It's why they wear sports mouth guards. But traditional mouthpieces are big, bulky, and uncomfortable. They're the first thing left behind on your way to practice, and they almost completely eliminate in-game communication. How do we expect these boil and bust appliances to fit everyone's unique dental profile? And getting a custom fit guard from the dentist is expensive and such a hassle. That's why TrueFit created a mouthpiece athletes actually want to wear. Each guard is made with the latest 3D print and scan technology. They feature shockwave dampening compression pads, a sleek, slim profile, and are cut so you can breathe and speak as clearly as I'm talking to you now. In fact, I'm currently wearing one.
Nice.
It's no coincidence that over 1,000 professional athletes across the NFL, NHL, PLL, NCAA, and UFC choose to wear TrueFit in our game. But we don't just make the best mouthpiece in sports. We're on a mission to bring custom fit to the people. And that's why we're asking for $750,000 for 5% of our business.
Oh, it's you.
Man, now, so TrueFit Customs, now this is an interesting one because as a patent attorney, I've worked on a ton of patents that dealt with mouth guards, customizable mouth guards. We all know the three bigger things is going to be the mouth guard for, as far as the dentist, the mouth guard for sports, and then you have just kind of for everyday use, so to speak. But I mean, I think it's definitely a saturated field. Now, these guys, kudos to them for getting the actual deal with one of the sharks on this one. Again, if you haven't saw my full breakdown, go check it out on the YouTube channel, Everything Intellectual Property. But kudos to them for getting an actual deal. I didn't think that, to be honest with you, that they're going to land just kind of based on how the sharks was talking and the fact that it is a saturated market when you're talking about mouthpieces. I was actually surprised that people are paying $100 for a mouthpiece, particularly when you're talking about sports. I mean, I've come from the days you get a $1 mouthpiece, throw that joint in some boiled water, get it out, bite it, and there you go. But it seems like things have gotten even more sophisticated since then. Now to the tune of spending $100 on a mouthpiece, which I think is interesting because those things I've lost. If you haven't realized, I played a little bit of football back in up to my collegiate days at Michigan State University, and I've lost a ton of mouthpieces over the years. But again, to the extent that somebody's willing to pay $100, whether it's football, basketball, hockey, MMA, whatever the case may be, then hey, you got to take advantage of it. It'll be interesting on this one. Like I said, I like their hustle. I like their drive. Whether or not I think this one is going to kind of long-term kind of be around or have a cultural impact, I was surprised, and maybe they did, and they just didn't get off into it in terms of the IP part of it. I was surprised they didn't. Like, it's like, okay, what is this thing bringing that other mouthpiece manufacturers or mouthpieces aren't bringing in the market? It seems like they talked about the assembly or the manufacturing of it. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I'm kind of, like I said, I'm a little up in the air on this one, but I guess those are my initial thoughts. In the meantime, let's go to the next one, 1587 sneakers. Let's hear a short summary of what this one entails, and then I'll give you my thoughts.
Hi, my name is Sam Hyun.
And I'm Adam King.
And we're two unapologetic Asian Americans from Boston.
We're seeking $100,000 for a 15.87% stake in our revolutionary sneaker brand.
Finally,
did you know that Asian Americans are obsessed with sneakers and are a huge factor in driving sneaker culture and a significant percentage of all sneaker sales?
I'm one of those guys. I live, breathe, and sleep sneakers. I even slept on the street overnight to cop a pair. After working in the sneaker industry for 20 years, I got so tired of hearing that Asian Americans are follower consumers.
And that is why we started 1587 Sneakers. Because 1587 is actually the year that the first Asian is documented to have set foot in what is now known as North America.
Wow.
So when people say, you're new to this country, you're a foreigner, go back to your country. What? We've been here 400 years.
And so that's why we launched with the Morrow Bay. Not only is the Morrow Bay a throwback to 80s basketball sneakers, Morrow Bay is also the exact landing spot for where that first Asian stepped foot in this country.
Next, we have the AP87. This is a classic tennis silhouette that looks great with any occasion. All our sneakers are made with the world's greatest leather and natural rubber. So your sneakies will always look like a fob.
Fresh out of the box. So Sharks, who's ready to walk with us and change the sneaker game forever?
All right.
Now, look, man, I'm just not a big fan of ostracizing prospective customers at the beginning. Now they talked about it, even though these sneakers were essentially made for Asian Americans, and even though I think what they said, only 30% of the market or 30% of the sales are to Asian Americans, which means that other groups are buying them, which is cool. I don't like the fact that maybe that's the business model from the beginning. I like for that to be kind of done organically, whether or not, hey, if African Americans are buying these things more so than Asian Americans, great. If Caucasians are buying these things more so than Asian Americans, then great. But I don't like for you to come out, especially in a mission statement, and say, hey, this product is for Asian Americans, and therefore you kind of ostracizing other groups while doing that. I don't necessarily like that. But again, I think, man, they have a story. And the great thing I like about these type businesses is you don't necessarily have to be the next Nike to be successful. I actually was kind of breaking down a lawsuit, which I typically do on Sundays. I think of like Aviator was the brand name, is out in California, and she was making hundreds of millions of dollars in sales because she kind of built her community up. And again, she's selling stuff for $100, $200, but she has her own community that's dedicated to her, and she's able to kind of sell a ton of product as a result of that. So again, with 1587 sneakers, yes, this is a sneaker company. Yeah, you don't have to rival the Adidas, the Nikes. You don't have to rival those. If you can kind of get your community together and kind of build your community and sell those sneakers that they want to see, man, you can stand to have a good, long-lasting business that makes a ton of money. So that's one of the things that I did want to point out. Again, the 1587, I kind of talked ad nauseum when I was on, when I did the breakdown of my full breakdown on it, that when you're starting a business, you want to kind of think about the business name and whether or not it's protectable at the beginning. Because the last thing you want to do is you get to a point where you're very successful, but you can't protect the name for one reason or another. So definitely try to come up with a name that you can get trademarked at the beginning. That way you can feel confident building that brand, knowing that if somebody uses it, then you can at least send a cease and desist letter, or if necessary, sue them. Because to the extent that you are successful, you will get people that's going to try to knock you off and kind of sell your product as well as kind of use your name. And to the extent that you don't have a trademark, you can't do anything about that as it relates to the name. But maybe you can do it, or you will be able to have some recourse if you do have a trademark protection on your name. So that's one of the things that I did want to point out, because 1587, I didn't see that they're trying to file trademark protection on it, which again, if you are watching this, owners, definitely for 1587, definitely make sure you get your brand trademarked. But for those of you who are maybe looking to start a business at the beginning, make sure the name that you come up with can be protected, because it's going to pay dividends. I always like to say you want to build your house on great foundation, and being able to protect your IP is a part of building your house on great foundation. So last but not least, cardio. Let's have a quick description or a summary of this business, and then I'll come back and give you my thoughts.
Sharks, my name is Destin George Bell. I'm from Austin, Texas. I'm the founder and CEO of Cardio, a gamified fitness app, and I am seeking $150,000 for 5% of my company. Sharks, cardio kind of sucks. Maybe you're a treadmill guy or girl who doesn't love running in place, staring out of a window or at a wall while numbers tick up on a display. Great time.
Hamster life.
Or maybe the jump rope, because who doesn't love jumping in place, staring at a wall, looking semi-athletic, hopefully, as you sweat for 5 to 10 minutes, hoping you're burning some calories. But today, I am here to do the impossible, make cardio suck a whole lot less. And we're doing that with Cardio, a gamified fitness app turning your outdoor cardio into a giant game of turf war. Let me show you how that works. So let's say you're an athletic guy like Mark, and you decide you're going to go for a run today. Now, of course, Mark's going to do his 4 miles. That's pretty easy for the Cuban man. And as you finish, you'll see the area of town you ran through. But Lori, always wanted to steal a deal, decides that she wants to run that same exact area to show Mark up. It's turning it into a giant game of turf war. Think capture the flag, but where the city streets, neighborhood roads, and hiking trails are areas that you compete to claim against other people in your city as a team. So as you see here, as Lori moves to this area, that'll actually go from Cardio Green to Shark Tank Blue while tracking all of her stats. And as you move, you'll see that the Shark Tank logo will actually start to move into the places that the cardio team used to have it. Now, once Lori decides to finish up her run, of course, running a little bit faster than Mark, she's going to finish up, see all of her stats, and then she'll end her route. That'll upload into our system. She'll be able to see tracker for all the places and times that she's run.
Love
Now
it.
let's flash back to Mark. He'll see that Shark Tank logo didn't used to be there. And he'll go to his phone and say, wow, Lori stole 109 blocks from my team. He'll click on that, see the specific areas of town that Lori went through, how fast she went, and to get it back, you guessed it, he's gonna have to go out there and start hauling his butt over that way. Sharks, who wants to get out of the pool and hit the streets with me and the cardio crew?
Now, man, I love, I mean, this guy was a dog. This guy's a pure dog. I'm definitely, with all these business owners, but I'm definitely looking forward to trying to get him on the show, because to go from sleeping in your car to ultimately, DMing 400 engineers, and hey, at some point they kind of cave in and not only kind of introduce you to the right people, but they even give you a $50,000 grant so you can start your company. Hey, that's that type of hustle that you need in business. And I think that's a big reason why Rashawn, as well as Damon Johns, they kind of did a deal with him, because I think he's a little bit earlier on in his process, as far as he has tens of thousands of users on the app, which is great with this kind of gamified cardio, which I think is something there. But he only made $4,000, I think, last month or whatever the case may be. So it wasn't like he was making a ton of money. And I think that all the Sharks, they were amazed at his hustle and his drive, but they thought he was a little early on. But I think Rashawn and Damon, obviously being African-American, then the guy was African-American, I think they kind of saw a little bit of themselves early on in this guy, and they gave him a deal, which I thought it was a good deal. I think they gave him $150,000 for 15%. I know he counted for 10% or whatever the case may be, but I thought it was a good deal for him. And I think that however this business go, having those two guys as mentors, I think is going to pay off for him. And another thing I do want to bring up, his mom seems like was with him and supported him every step of the way. As you're kind of getting off into this entrepreneurial journey, man, you want people that's going to support you. And it can be your parents, it can be your siblings, it can be friends, family, whoever. But you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself by people who's going to support you, because you're going to need it. I can assure you that. So with all that being said, I think the one that's probably going to make the most money is the Little Saints. Like I said, they're already killing it as it relates to kind of the sales and things like that. But I think the owner, she's you can tell she's on it. She's on it. She's very sharp. And I think she's a killer. She's a killer. She's a straight shooter. And again, the fact that she turned down a deal, I think she knows where she's going. And man, kudos her. So I definitely think Little Saints will make the most money out of these four, in my opinion. And I also think Little Saints is probably, from a cultural standpoint, is going to be around. The fact that these mocktails are picking up, I think that bodes well for her. And yeah, I think that, as time and time passes, you're going to see Little Saints in a lot of these stores. I can see mocktails being in stores. So I think not only in restaurants, but I do think the Little Saints, you will see them in gas stations and things like that. And the fact that it seems like they got some healthy, I have a buddy who's a big health advocate or health conscious, and mushrooms, lion's mane. He always talks about that and the benefits of it, and the fact that their mocktails have that type of stuff. I think, it's a game changer. I do think that cardio, I think they came in as almost a close, like a 1B, for example, as relates to both the money as well as the cultural impact. I think that the guy, he's going to do good having Damon, John, and Rashawn as mentors. And I think if they can catch fire, man, I think, hey, the sky's the limit for that guy and his company. So hopefully you guys, let me know what you guys thoughts in the comment section. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? Do you think 1587 sneakers is probably going to be make a lot of money and a bigger cultural impact? Do you think TrueFit Customs will have those spots? Let me know. I'm interested in knowing what you guys think in the comment section. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this type of content. I'm going to do this every week. Every time it's an episode out, we're going to do IP battles. We're going to break down the 4 pitches. I'm going to let you know which one I think is going to make the most money, as well as which one I think is going to have a bigger cultural impact. And I'm going to try to kind of give you these nuggets from an IP perspective as we're kind of doing it all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed this content, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.